I know what you're thinking. What am I doing with a hanger, especially a wired hanger? No more wired hangers! That's not a quote from a movie. Yes, it is. We'll get to this in a bit. All right, so the topic for today is, are crunches ruining your back? Now, if you go to a normal gym, you'll probably walk around and you'll see somebody doing some sort of crunches, right? Because that's how you get six-pack abs. Trust me, I've tried it. I've done 1,000 crunches a day for 1 week, and I got nothing but back pain after that. Did the abs form? No, because I did not eat the right foods. That's right, abs are made in the kitchen. You've heard it time and time again. But the question is, are crunches ruining your back? So there's a book that I'm kind of basing this off of. There's a book that was written by Dr. Stuart McGill called The Ultimate Back Fitness and Performance. So check out this book. It provides a lot of insight as to how we're supposed to train the core, right? And one of the things he found in his studies was they actually took a pig spine and they loaded it with a ton of weight, right? Up to a point to where it actually destroyed the pig spine, right? Because we wouldn't want to get a human spine to practice this. Tons of ethical issues with that, right? So a pig spine, right? That's what they use on Mythbusters. It's awesome. So they took a pig spine, loaded it with thousands of pounds of weight until it was destroyed. And check this. On the next experiment, he took the pig spine and moved it actually 1 degree off. And guess what? It took 1/10 of the weight to destroy the spine. And this, I mean, catastrophic effects to the spine. So in his study, in his research, what he found was that it only took 1/10 of the force to actually have a catastrophic effect on the spine when the spine was moved 1 degree. That's like taking 50 pounds of catastrophic weight to the spine and then moving it 1 degree, and it only takes 5 pounds to have the same effect. All right. So you hear that, you're like, wow, what does that mean for us? Really, what it means is that the abs are not meant to do all this bending motion. That your spine's not meant to do all of these bending motions. It's actually meant for stability, right? So I want you to have this paradigm shift when you're thinking about core, right? When you're doing crunches, you move well past that 1 degree of flexion whenever you're doing all those crunches, right? And so can you imagine the impact it's having on your back? If that doesn't do it for you, I want you to take, for example, this wired hanger here. So if I take this wired hanger and I start to bend it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, eventually a thin white film is going to show on the wired hanger. If I keep doing it enough times, it's going to snap and break. Now, I'm not going to do this to a wired hanger that I got from the house, because one thing I know is happy wife, happy life. So my wife has these hangers, and I'm not going to be the first one on this camera to break it, because she's going to see it, all right? So anyways, imagine with me, if you will. All right, I'm going to actually put this back up. This is evidence. It's not bent. This will break. So that's your spine right there, going through that range of motion, flexion, flexion, flexion. Eventually, it's just weakening the spine. Now, there may be some exceptions with depending on different types of training modalities for like MMA fighters or boxers, to where there's an exception to doing crunches. But for the vast majority of Americans, that's 85% of Americans, it's not beneficial. It's not the most efficient way to work your core. In fact, it puts you more at risk for lower back pain, which is something that's been on the rise since who knows when, but it's something that is a problem right now, right? We sit in our desks, we slouch, and then we're in this flex position or hunch over position, and then we're going out there and doing crunches, and then we wonder why we have lower back pain. So now I want you to start thinking of working your core as anti-movement. So think about anti-flexion, right? Or anti-extension, for example, which is a plank. So I'm working my core to prevent bending or extension in my back muscles. So anti-rotation could be like a wood chop or a rotational chop, or anti-lateral flexion. So I'm trying to prevent bending, which you've seen a lot of people when they're working their obliques, they're trying to do side bends. Instead, I want you to think anti-lateral flexion, because again, it's meant to prevent bending because we want to be stable. So think more like farmer walks. Those are great core exercises to work that anti-lateral flexion instead of doing side bends. So those are just a few of the examples on different ways to start rethinking the way you train your abs. Anti-flexion, think about Romanian deadlifts. That's a great exercise and you're still working your core. You don't have to get on the ground and do crunch. I actually haven't done crunches since who knows when. And yes, I have a six-pack, but it's made in the kitchen. Plus an amazing diet. But the question was, are crunches ruining your back? I think you have the answer. So when you go in the gym, don't do exercises just because you see other people doing them. Do some research. If you want to know more about this, I highly recommend you read the book, The Ultimate Back Fitness and Performance by Dr. Stuart McGill. Until next time, I'm Nedu the Trainer, and I'm out.